Welcome to the State of the Market for Law Firm Sales in 7 Minutes. My name is Jeremy Poock, and I lead Senior Attorney Match. In today's In 7 Minutes, we'll focus on the importance of trust transfer when selling a law practice. So let's jump right into it. First question is, well, what is trust transfer? Trust transfer is the transfer of the trust that a senior attorney's clients have placed in that senior attorney to the successor lawyer or lawyers to the senior attorney's practice. For today's purposes, we're going to focus only on when senior attorneys join growing law firms. And as we think about that client list, right, the clients that a senior attorney is transferring to the firm that a senior attorney joins, it's important to also think about, well, what is it that a senior attorney is selling when a senior attorney sells his or her law practice? And that brings up the question of, well, valuing a law practice. The value of a law practice consists of five components. Those components are the client list and the referral source list that the senior attorney has generated over the course of his or her career, their goodwill, the subject matter knowledge that a senior attorney has developed in often multiple practice areas. And now that we're in the 3.0 digital era for law firms, the digital value that the firm has developed. In terms of the client list, that is the most valuable asset in today's law firm sales 1.0. And in terms of looking at the trust transfer as an equation, when senior attorneys join growing law firms, the clients trust the senior attorney trusts the lawyers at the firm that the senior attorney has joined. And when the senior attorney transfers that trust, the clients then almost automatically trust the lawyers at that growing law firm, hence trust transfer. When it comes to the mechanics of trust transfer, the mechanics of trust transfer relate back to the value of a law practice. That is, we're talking about trust transfer in the context of the sale of a law practice. When it comes to the sale of a law practice, the five components of what lawyers are selling are the client list, their referral source list, the goodwill that they have developed in their community, statewide, nationwide, sometimes even internationally, the subject matter knowledge that they have developed often in multiple practice areas, and now that we're in the 3.0 digital era for law firms, the digital value of a firm. We are currently in what we call law firm sales 1.0, which involves an earnout price. That is when lawyers are looking to sell their law practices via law firm sale 1.0 type of transaction. The sale is structured as an earnout. So why is that? The reason why is when we think about those five components of value, the two primary components of value are the client list and the referral source, where primarily it's the client list that has the most value. And when it comes to, well, how do we monetize that client list? Why would a buyer pay consideration to a seller for the value of the client list? It's because of the trust transfer. The trust transfer is the vehicle. It's really the engine by which senior attorneys can monetize their law practices, because that earnout depends upon the clients continuing to retain the law firm and the lawyers of the firm that senior attorneys join. And for that to work, the senior attorney needs to transfer his or her trust to those lawyers. And now that we are in the 3.0 digital era for law firms, trust transfer can really actually be what we call supersized. That is, trust transfer pre-2020, really even pre-Google, would be done over breakfasts, lunches, dinners, coffees. Really what we're talking about is in person. Now that we are in the 3.0 digital era for law firms, trust transfer, what we're seeing in the marketplace, that happens via 15-minute Zoom meetings. The introductions, that is, of the senior attorney to lawyers at the firm that a senior attorney joins. It's done by connecting with clients on LinkedIn. If we think about every year, we used to send out a Christmas card to our client list. Well, what if you could connect with your client list when you initially joined that growing law firm? What if you could connect with them on LinkedIn via an e-newsletter that comes out every month and highlights what's happening in your practice, but also with the lawyers in the law firm that you've joined? What if you finally have the time to record podcasts and post tweets and go on to YouTube and film videos? All of this is happening when it comes to the trust transfer, when senior attorneys are joining growing law firms and have the ability to leverage today's 3.0 digital era for law firms to transfer the trust of their clients to the firms that senior attorneys have joined. So when it comes to today's buzzer beater for the importance of trust transfer when selling law firms, it's important to recognize that we continue and will be in law firm sales 1.0 for the foreseeable future. For most baby boomer attorneys that have not adopted significant, not introduced significant digital value to their practices, their primary assets of what they have to sell is the client list and the referral source list of what they have developed over the course of their careers. And that engine, the engine for monetizing their law practices, is the ability to transfer the trust of their clients and their referral sources to trusted lawyers at the firms that they join, because those firms, in terms of law firm sales 1.0, that's based upon an earnout, will pay the senior attorney a percentage typically of the fees of those clients that the senior attorney has transferred to the growing law firm that a senior attorney joins. In terms of a preview for our next in 7 minutes, we'll focus on the importance of trust transfer for law firm sales and discuss 3 examples of trust transfer after senior attorneys join growing law firms, where those 3 examples relate to in-person trust transfer via Zoom, and trust transfer via social media. And that is today's state of the market for law firm sales in a little bit more than 7 minutes.